Living on the moon. Hello everyone, we are Group 3 and today we will present on how to live on the moon. Our names are Vaishnavi, Dhruv, Gurjansh and Pavitran.
Hi.
Hello guys.
Hello guys.
So, before jumping on to how to live on the moon, let us first learn what is the moon. The moon is the Earth's only natural satellite. It is the fifth largest moon in the solar system. It is orbiting the Earth at an average distance of 384,400 kilometers. It is the brightest object in the night sky. The moon is larger than any known dwarf planets. The moon is also classified as a planetary mass object and is a differentiated rocky body and lacks any significant atmosphere, hydrosphere, or magnetic field. What causes the Earth's rays to increase and what causes tides? Its gravitational influence slightly lessens the Earth's rays and is the main driver of the Earth's tides. High and low tides are caused by the moon. The moon's gravitational pull generates something called the tidal force. The tidal force causes Earth and its water to bulge out on the side closest to the moon. In the side farthest from the moon, these bulges of water are high tides. Phases of the moon. The moon has many phases, which are the new moon, waxing crescent moon, first quarter moon, waxing gibbous moon, full moon, waning gibbous moon, last quarter moon, and waning crescent moon. The moon's orbit around the Earth has sidereal period of 27.3 days. The amount of visible surface illuminated by the sun varies from none up to 100%, resulting in lunar phases that form the basics of the month of the lunar calendar. The moon is tidally locked to Earth. The moon keeps the same face pointing towards the Earth because its rate of spin is tidally locked so that it is synchronized with its rate of revolution. In other words, the moon rotates exactly once every time it circles the Earth. The moon is tidally locked to Earth, which means that the length of a full rotation of the moon on its axis causes its same side to always face the Earth, and a somewhat longer lunar day is the same as the Sidonic period. When was the moon formed and how? It smashed into developing Earth 4.5 billion years ago. This collision produced enough heat to create magma oceans and ejected a lot of debris into orbit around the Earth, which subsequently collapsed into the moon. The most widely accepted origin explanation posits that the moon was formed 4.51 billion years ago, not long after Earth, out of the debris from a giant impact between the planets and hypothesized Mars-sized body called Theia. It then reached into a wider orbit because of the tidal interaction with the Earth. How can the moon cover the whole sun during a solar eclipse? The sun is completely blocked in a solar eclipse because the moon passes between the Earth and the sun. Even though the moon is much smaller than the sun because it is just the right distance away from Earth, the moon can fully block the sun's light from Earth's perspective. This completely blots out the sun's light. The moon's apparent size is nearly the same as that of the sun, allowing references and influences for human societies to cover the sun almost completely during the total solar eclipse. Both the moon's prominence in the earthly sky and its regular cycle of phases have provided culture throughout history. Such influences can be found in language, calendar systems, art, and mythology. Now that we know what the moon is, let's talk about the missions that went to moon. Over to Dhruv.
Thanks, Vaishnavi. So, friends, I am Dhruv Kese. Let me take you through some of the missions to the moon. Starting with first successful manned mission to the moon. Apollo 11 became the first ever manned spacecraft to land on the surface of the moon. On July 20th, 1969, Apollo 11 landed on moon in the area commonly known as the Sea of Tranquility. The first steps by humans on another planetary body were taken by Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. Next slide, please. Next, NASA's mission to the moon. Apollo 11 and Apollo 13 are the most memorable missions of moon by NASA. The Apollo program, also known as Project Apollo, was the third United States human spaceflight program carried out by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, which succeeded in preparing and landing the first humans on the moon from 1968 to 1972. Next slide, please. Next, NASA's future mission to moon. With Artemis mission, NASA is committed to landing American astronauts, including the first woman and the next man, on the moon by 2024. Using innovative technologies to explore more of the lunar surface than ever before, NASA will collaborate with commercial and international partners and establish the first long-term presence on the moon. Next slide, please. Next, ISRO's missions to the moon. Chandrayaan-1 was India's first lunar probe. It was launched by the Indian Space Research Organization on 22nd October 2008 and operated until August 2009. The mission included a lunar orbiter and an impactor. The mission was a major boost to India's space program as India researched and developed its own technology in order to explore the moon. The vehicle was successfully inserted into lunar orbit on 8th November 2008. Next slide, please. Chandrayaan-2 was launched from the second launch pad at Satish Dhawan Space Center on 22nd July 2019. The planned orbit has a perigee of 169.7 km and an apogee of 45,475 km. It consists of a lunar orbiter, lander, and rover, all developed in India. The main scientific objective is to map the location and abundance of lunar water. Next slide, please. Next, ISRO's future mission to the moon. Chandrayaan-3 will be a mission repeat of Chandrayaan-2 but will only include a lander and rover similar to that of Chandrayaan-2. It will not have an orbiter. The project is planned to be launched sometime in 2022. Over to Guru Gyanj.
Yeah. Topic: Can we live on moon? Practically, if we think, is there life on moon? No. The 12 astronauts who walked on the lunar surface during the Apollo missions in the late 1960s and early 1970s are the only living being to have set foot on Earth's satellite. Moon. The moon doesn't have an atmosphere or air for humans to breathe, but its surface, which is covered by a substance called lunar regolith, moon's dust. Why does the moon not support life? The moon does not have an atmosphere like Earth to support life. Moreover, there is no water and suitable temperature for sustaining life. The gravitational pull of the moon is also very weak. Gravitational force is required to bind the terrestrial object with the planet so that they do not float into the space. Over to Pavitran.
Thank you, Gurgyansh. I'm gonna add on some points on how to live on the moon and their facts. The moon has quakes similar to earthquakes. These are caused by the gravitational pull of the Earth. Lunar astronauts used seismographs on their visit to the moon and found that small moonquakes occurred several kilometers beneath the surface, causing ruptures and cracks. Scientists the m- think, think the moon has a molten core just like Earth. The moon has quakes similar to earthquakes. These are caused by the gravitational pull of Earth. In one of the mission, astronauts used a tool called seismographs and found that small moon quakes occurred several kilometers below the surface, causing ruptures and cracks. Scientists think that the moon has a molten core just like Earth. You can move. Plants and moon. Cotton seeds on China's Chang'e 4 lander sprouted, becoming the first plants to ever germinate on the moon. The successful germination was reported by Chinese media on January 15th, 2019. The seeds are part of a biosphere experiment on the lander to help prepare for eventual human settlements. The first plant on moon is the cotton plant planted by China's Chang'e 4 lander, and the cotton plant became the first plant on moon. The successful plantation was reported by the Chinese media on 15th of Jan 2019. The seeds are part of a biospherical experiment on the lander to, to help for the future human settlements. You can move. The moon is outside the Earth's magnetic field for most of each month and has a negligible atmosphere, allowing solar wind particles to reach the moon's surface. The moon is outside the Earth's magnetic field for of each month and has a less atmosphere, allowing unwanted rays to reach the moon's surface. And more.
Theories can suggest that we have already found water on moon in form of ice. So if we melt that ice, it will create water. We can use solar panels for sun's energy. We can make artificial sun rays protector layer. Hashtag ozone layer. We can have a regular supply of oxygen and food from Earth. Life on the moon. In order to live on it, we need to have a way of keeping oxygen on the moon. A bubble dome is the most effective way of enhancing civilization on the moon. It is the best shape to hold air pressure. Civilization inside these domes could be similar to life on. Over to Pavitran.
To have a human life in moon, we need basic human needs like air, water, food, and shelter. As we saw, many researchers from various space research and organization showed us multiple times all these basic needs can be created in moon itself. We can presumably conclude that human life is possible in moon. So let me tell you the thank you speech. That was very informative. Thank you everybody for listening to us patiently. These are some more information that I want and add on before we wind up. Moon was originally formed when a Mars-sized object collided with Earth, which is known as STIA. Moon has a very thin atmosphere called an exosphere. Moon is very important to humans living in Earth because it helps us in stabilizing the climate. Moon is only heavenly body in which human has set foot beyond Earth. Initially, people thought that Moon was only natural satellite for Earth until Galileo discovered four moons orbiting Jupiter in 1610. NASA currently three robot spacecraft exploring the moon: lunar reconnaissance orbiter and the twin Artemis spacecraft. Thank you everybody for giving us opportunity.